We hear from students all the time that they have an enormous amount of information to learn and just not enough time to do it. And they love Quizlet because it takes these complex subjects and turns it into really digestible pieces through flashcards. So Quizlet is pretty well known in the US for university students, but we knew we had some ground to make up in other parts of the world, especially in the UK. So the challenge for Flying Object was, how do we visualize that Quizlet makes knowledge consumable? We had to make sure that our value proposition came across, because a lot of students might be seeing and hearing about Quizlet for the very first time. It had to work both sound on and sound off. We had to pop visually. We had to make sure that it localized across different markets, and we had to do all of this in less than 10 seconds.
One of the big inspirations for this series of videos are the cooking kind of ones you see on TikTok, where people are sort of rapidly making a meal. We wanted to subvert this trope and turn it into something that the kind of study world has not seen before.
During our brainstorming, we were having a lot of fun with this idea of food prep and how that really captured the magic of Quizlet. And we had all these crazy ideas, and it kept sort of getting stranger and stranger, sort of moving from reality to something really much more surreal. And pretty soon we realized we had landed on our idea, this idea of Feed Your Brain.
We've been able to take the Quizlet brand colours and the kind of vibe of Quizlet as an app, and then create these surreal little vignettes, these really brightly coloured, arresting visual animations.
We knew that thousands of students would be seeing these visuals on campuses as animated GIFs, so we couldn't rely on things like narration to be able to tell the story of Quizlet. The visuals themselves had to stand up on their own.
Some of the scenarios we set up were a textbook being sliced into flashcards, so very simple. We went a bit more complicated. We had sushi being turned into flashcards.
So my favorite video was our rotating kebab. We had this amazing stack of books of all different languages. And we came through with a sword and sliced off different pieces, like as if they were flashcards. And they were all gathered up and then flipped into your phone.
We also worked with Zelig Sound to create a really nice Foley in the background, but also some really cool, unusual sounds. So when the blender spins, there's like a guitar shred. There's some really nice knife sounds when the bits of sushi are laid down.
Bring the campaign to the widest possible audience. We combined out-of-home, in-person, and video advertising to make sure that students remembered Quizlet the next time they needed a study tool. Quizlet is really good about taking these micro moments in your day and turning those into study moments. And that was the idea behind the Quizlet branded microwave popcorn. So we gave these out at 50 campuses in the UK. The idea was, while students were making themselves a little study snack, they could scan a QR code and jump into some of our study tools. So even though we were getting students to interact with our product, they were just having themselves a snack and having a laugh.